Good morning, students. This is Padmanabham, botany teacher. In this class, I'm going to explain about different kinds of tissue systems. Already, we introduced that the types of tissue systems. Now, detailed description about the epidermal tissue system. So, the previous class, we give a list about tissue systems. That is epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system, and vascular tissue system, right? So in these, first of all, epidermal tissue system. Epi means outer, derma means skin. So outermost skin in the plant pots is termed as epidermis. In root, in stem, or in leaf, the outermost covering tissue is called epidermis. Generally, the epidermal cells are compactly arranged without intercellular spaces or without gaps. Like this. When you take anatomy, these epidermal cells are arranged like this. So parenchyma cells generally without gaps, usually single layer, are arranged compactly with the living cells, which is outermost skin, that is epidermis, usually protective in function. Protective in function. So the epidermal cells are living cells, parenchyma cells. Without any gaps, they are compactly arranged, usually single layer. Rarely the multiple epidermis. Rarely multiple epidermal layer was seen in some xerophytic plants. So multiple epidermal layers was seen in some xerophytic plants like this, right? So epidermal cells gives protection, mainly protective in function. The outermost layer made up with parenchyma cells. Without gaps, they are arranged compactly, usually single layer, rarely multiple layers also found in some xerophytic plants, which is a protective in nature. In roots, in stems, in leaves also this epidermis was found. Then in the epidermis, the one of the important covering layer outer to epidermis, that is cuticle. Cuticle is a thick waxy coated layer made up with the cutin, is a chemical made up with the cutin, which prevent water loss. That means rate of transpiration reduced by cuticle. For example, you see this is the epidermal layer now. Already we draw and explained now. Outer to the epidermis, external to the Epidermis, a thick waxy layer. This thick waxy layer is called cuticle. This waxy layer made up with a cutin, which is useful for reduction of rate of transpiration, and also it is the outermost covering of the epidermal cells, and it also checked the entry of pathogens. Entry of pathogen was obstructed by cuticle layer, right? So cuticle is a protective layer of epidermis made up with a cutin. It is not found in root epidermis. So in root epidermis, the cuticle is absent, whereas in stem epidermis, the cuticle was present. Right? Are you understand? So in stem epidermis as well as in leaf epidermis, the thick covering cuticle was found, but not in root epidermis. So not found in epidermis of root, that is cuticle, right? Next, stomata. Very important point of the epidermal tissue system. These are the small openings or small pores or openings which are controlled by specialized cells in the epidermal tissue system called guard cells. The guard cells are the structures or the cells, specialized cells in epidermal tissue system of stem and leaf, young stems and leaves, which control the opening and closing of these pores, that is stomatal pores. These stomatal small pores are involved in gaseous exchange and in transpiration. So the two main functions performed by the stomatas, stomatal pores, epidermal pores, which are guided or which are aided or which are controlled by the guard cells. The guard cells are the specialized epidermal cells which participate in the opening and closing of the pores, that is stomatal pores. That stomatas are the pores through which two major functions were carried out. That is one, gaseous exchange, that means inward movement of carbon dioxide, outward movement of oxygen, and transpiration, the excess of water released from the plants to external atmosphere in the form of vapor, that is called transpiration. Transpiration means the excess of water removed out from the plant body in the form of vapor into the atmosphere through small minute pores. That pores are called stomatal pores, right? These stomatas are the minute pores found especially in young stems, leaves, unripened fruit walls, aerial roots, but not in root epidermis. So both cuticle as well as stomatas are not found in root epidermis. Root epidermis does not have stomata as well as cuticle, right? Because roots generally found inside the soil, There is no need to exchange of gases. There is no need to transpiration. Within the soil, the root cannot perform these two functions. Hence, the stomatas and as well as cuticle was absent in the epidermal system of root. The young stems, leaves have stomatas. Generally, in the leaves, the number of stomatas are more and participate in these two functions, that is exchange of gases as well as the transpiration. The stomatas are controlled by guard cells. The guard cells exhibit different shapes. That is bean or kidney shaped guard cells found in dicot plants, whereas dumbbell shaped guard cells are found in monocot plants. So different shapes of guard cells are found in dicot plants. The bean or kidney shaped guard cells are found, whereas in monocot plants it is in dumbbell shape. Let us see the shapes of guard cells. So this is a normal epidermal cell found in the normal position of guard cells found in the epidermal tissue system. Whereas under opening it becomes like this bean or kidney shape. Then the specialized parenchyma cells surrounding the guard cells are called subsidiary cells. Then the epidermal cells are found. So these are epidermal cells. These are subsidiary cells or accessory supportive cells. This is guard cell. On opening they exhibit a kidney shape. These guard cells exhibit differential thickenings, that is inner wall has more thick and the outer wall was less thick. So outer thin walls, inner thick wall. Due to difference of the thickening of walls, it becomes open like this. Because of the thick inner wall and the thin outer wall, a crescent shape takes place. Opening takes place. And also the microfibrils of the cellulose was found in these walls of guard cells, which are arranged radially rather longitudinally. So cellulosic microfibrils like spokes in an umbrella. You know that umbrella? When you open the umbrella, the spokes are opened. When you close the umbrella, the spokes are bind over or contrasted. Likewise, the cellulosic microfibrils. Cellulosic microfibrils helps in opening of one of the important point is each guard cell has chloroplast. So presence of chloroplast is an important character of guard cell. So within the guard cells the chloroplast also present. These chloroplasts participate in photosynthesis. Rest of remaining epidermal cells, subsidiary cells does not have chloroplast. God cell only chloroplast. So God cell have chloroplast. God cell exhibit unevening thickenings. That means thick inner wall, thin outer wall, and also having cellulosic microfibrils. So presence of cellulosic microfibrils, unevening thickening of the cell walls, presence of chloroplast is a main characteristic feature of God cells. Remaining epidermal cells does not have chloroplast, does not have unevening thickenings, does not have cellulosic fibrils. So because of these characteristic features, the stoma opens and closes. During turgidity, that means whenever the water enters into God cell excessively, it can expand and open. That means pore will open. Under flaccid condition, when it loses water and it comes into its original position. So this is the closed position of God cell. This is the opened of stomata. Stomatal pore, God cells, subsidiary cells constitutively called as stomatal apparatus or stomatal aperture. Stomatal aperture means stoma plus God cells plus subsidiary cells. Right? So that is the structure of stoma, the structure of God cells in dicot plants. Whereas in monocot plants, you see the dumbbell shape. That means here the middle wall of the dumbbell becomes thick and the outer wall of the dumbbell was thin. So you see the subsidiary cells and God cells and epidermal cells. So the God cells are in dumbbell shape, dumbbell. Here the middle wall is thick and the outer wall was thin. Right? Here also chloroplast was present in the God cells. This dumbbell shaped God cells are found in monocot plants, whereas here bean or kidney shaped. So stoma is a pore which open and closed with the activity of specialized epidermal cells called God cells. The God cells are controlling points of the opening and closing of stomata. Stomata is not a structure, it is a gap, pore. That pore was opened and closed with the turgidity and flaccidity conditions of God cells. The God cells of dicot plants are kidney or bean shape, whereas the structure of God cells in monocots is a dumbbell shape. Very important. God cell have unevening thickenings surrounded by specialized parenchyma cells called subsidiary cells or accessory cells. Structurally, they differ in wall thickenings. Inner wall thick and outer wall thin. Middle wall thick and outer wall was thin here. Here, chloroplasts are present in guard cells, both in monocot and dicot. Guard cells additionally have cellulosic microfibrils, which helps that orientation of cellulosic microfibrils was radially arranged in the walls of guard cells, which helps in the opening and closing of the guard cell. Okay, stomatas are the minute pores which controls two functions. That is what, ma? Removal of excess of water in the form of vapor. Removal of excess of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of the plant to external atmosphere. That is a transpiration. Then exchange of gases. That is inward movement of carbon dioxide, outward movement of oxygen, also controlled by the stoma, right? That is about stomata. Next, external appendages. First one, root hairs. In the epidermis of root, at mature zone, we already discussed the zone of elongation, zone of maturation, zone of elongation, meristematic zone already we discussed in morphology now. So at maturation zone, the number of unicellular outgrowths were formed. These unicellular outgrowths are called root hairs, right? These root hairs are exogenous unicellular tubular extensions from some epidermal cells of mature zone of root. These root hairs are responsible for what, ma? Absorption of water and minerals from the soil. So this exogenously developed mature zone of the root epidermal cells produce root hairs, which are unicellular. From epidermal cells of the maturity zone of the root only they are developed. They are tubular extensions. They are continuously changed. That means replaceable due to growth of the root. So maturation zone frequently changes. The number of root hairs are newly developed. Old root hairs becomes disintegrated. So in such a way the root hairs are tubular outgrowths in the root epidermal cells. The epidermal cells which produce the root hair is called trichoblasts or piliferous layer. Because of the production of tubular root hairs, these root epidermal cells are said to be piliferous layer. The particular cells which are produce root hairs are said to be trichoblasts. Trichoblasts or epiblema. Epidermis of root is otherwise called as epiblema also, right? These are all again we discuss under anatomy of root in the next class, right? That is about root hair only found in epidermis of root, not in stem. Next, trichomes. These are the hair-like structures develops from stem epidermal cells multicellular, branched or unbranched. For example, you see this is the stem epidermis of some dicot plants. The multicellular hairs are developed from the epidermal cells called trichomes. This may be having branches or unbranched cells. These are branched trichomes, unbranched trichomes. These are multicellular hair-like outgrowths called trichomes, which are useful for protection of the epidermal cells and avoid rate of transpiration or minimize the rate of transpiration. Check the entry of disease causing agent also like microbes such as bacterial and viral infections. So entry of pathogens also checked by the trichomes, which are branched or unbranched multicellular hairs develops from stem epidermis generally, not in roots. They may be branched or unbranched. They are stiff fiber or stiff hairs which prevent the entry of disease causing agents and also participate in minimizing the water loss. And finally they give protection to the epidermal cells. Such hairs develops from the epidermal of some dicot stems, not in monocots, are called trichomes, right? Trichomes are the special appendages found in stems. Root hairs are the tubular extensions developed in roots. These both are appendages, external appendages. That is about epidermal tissue system. Secondly, ground tissue system. Between epidermis and stele, that is a central vascular tissues. Between epidermis, for example, this epidermis, on transverse section we see the epidermis outermost layer and centralmost vascular tissues, stele. In between epidermis and stele, this area totally occupied by ground tissue. Generally, the ground tissue constitute in stems, roots, different areas. That is one, exodermis or hypodermis, cortex, then endodermis, medulla, medullary rays. You see exodermis or hypodermis beneath the epidermis. The exodermis may be collenchyma or may be sclerenchyma. Already we explained under collenchyma. So beneath the epidermis, the hypodermis in monocot stem, it is made up with sclerenchyma. Whereas the same beneath the epidermis in dicot stems, it is made up with the collenchyma. Right? Already we collenchyma tissue, we explained that Beneath the epidermis as a hypodermal layer in dicot stems, the collenchyma tissue, living mechanical tissue was found. But beneath the epidermis of monocot stems, the collenchyma tissue made as a hypodermal layer, not collenchyma, but it is a sclerenchyma. So sclerenchyma in monocots, collenchyma in dicots, formed as a hypodermal layer. What is hypodermis? Beneath the epidermis in the stems generally, right? Next, cortex. The middle portion of the stem or root made up with cortex. This is a middle portion, totally made up with parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma, fundamental tissue, filled the centralmost part of root, a middle part of root or stem, or in leaves the middle part made up with mesophyll cells. Leaf mesophyll cells are found. The mesophyll cells are constitute the area beneath the epidermis or between the epidermis. The mesophyll cells, which are responsible for photosynthesis. Mesophyll cells. What is meso? Meso means middle. Phylla means leaf. In leaf, the middle portions made up with the parenchyma cells like palisade tissue as well as spongy tissue, which are having abundant chloroplasts. Nearly 20 to 40 chloroplasts are found in each mesophyll cell. Each mesophyll cell have 20 to 40 chloroplasts, which are mainly participate in photosynthesis. These middle mesophyll cell, middle leaf cells are also considered as ground tissue system. Then endodermis, the innermost area of the cortex which surround the stele is called endodermis. The endodermis have several characteristic features, which is the barrier of entry of the water from cortex to stele. The endodermis cell acts as a gateway for the entry of the water from cortex to stele, which was clearly explained under anatomy. The endodermis layer also considered as a ground tissue system. Then medulla, medullary rays, found in the dicot stems. Centralmost part of the stem or root is called medulla. Centralmost part of the stem or root called medulla, where some rays are develops radially, they are called medullary rays. These are all the areas found and considered as ground tissue system. The ground tissue system has almost all kinds of cells. What are they? That is parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. So all types of cells are found in ground tissue system. Very important. So ground tissue system consists of almost all simple permanent tissues like parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Right? That is about ground tissue system. Major part of the plant body was occupied by this ground tissue system. Then thirdly, vascular tissue system. This is the innermost areas of the plant parts, root, stem as well as leaves, middle portions, centralmost portions. They are otherwise called as vascular connections or tertiary elements or transporting tissues or conducting tissue. So conducting tissue, transport elements, vascular connections, vascular bundles, these are all the synonyms. We already discussed the complex tissue system, that is the xylem and phloem. The xylem and phloem are the complex tissues, present in the centralmost part of the root and stem, which constitute the participation in transport of water through xylem, translocation of food through phloem, what takes place. So, the vascular connections, that is structural elements or conducting tissues, are the centralmost part, xylem and phloem. These vascular tissue system is otherwise represented as vascular bundles. These vascular bundles are two types, that is radial vascular bundles and conjoint bundles. The radial vascular bundles are found in roots, means the xylem as well as the phloem bundles are found in separate radius. In alternate radius, the xylem as well as phloem was found. This is xylem alternately found with the phloem. Xylem, phloem, xylem, phloem, xylem and phloem. Means xylem, phloem not in same radius. Xylem found in one radius, phloem tissues arranged or located or develops in alternate radius. Such an arrangement is called radial vascular bundles. It is most common in roots. Whereas conjoint bundles, there are again three types: conjoint closed, conjoint open and bicollateral bundles. Means conjoint closed bundles are found in conjoint, means xylem and phloem situated in one side, phloem, xylem. Between phloem and xylem there is a cambium, means phloem tissues located towards outer side with xylem towards inner side. There is no cambium. Here in these bundles, phloem situated upper side, xylem towards lower side. Between phloem and xylem there is a cambium. So phloem, cambium, xylem. Here only phloem, xylem, no cambium. These conjoint bundles, it is called closed bundle. This one is a conjoint open bundle. Conjoint closed means no cambium. Because of absence of cambium, these bundles cannot able to participate in secondary growth. This was found in monocot stems. These are found in monocot stems. Conjoint open bundles means in between phloem and xylem there is a cambium. So it is participate in secondary growth, found in dicot stems and in gymnospermic stem also. And conjoint bicollateral bundles means either side of the xylem two phloem patches are found. Cambium, cambium 1, cambium 2, phloem 1, phloem 2, xylem. It is found in Cucurbitaceae members and Solanaceae plants. Bicollateral bundles means only one central xylem patches runs either side of the xylem patches. Two phloem bundles are runs which are separated by two cambial layers. Such vascular bundles found in Solanaceae and Cucurbitaceae family members, they are called bicollateral bundles. Conjoint means both phloem and xylem found in one radius, same bundle. Without cambium, it is said to be closed. With cambium, it is said to be open. With two cambias, two floyas, it is said to be conjoint bicollateral open bundles. But conjoint bicollateral open bundles. Then in some plants, some other plants like Pteridophyta, the vascular bundles are found. They are leptocentric and hadrocentric. Leptocentric means centrally phloem and surrounded by xylem. Hadrocentric means centrally xylem surrounded by phloem. Amphivassal, amphicribal. These are found in pteridophytic plants. Pteridophytes. These are the variations of arrangements. About the detailed description of the xylem and phloem arrangements, cambial arrangements, constitutes under the transverse section or anatomical structures of monocot root, dicot root, monocot stem, dicot stem, monocot leaf and dicot leaf. Furthermore, we are going to discuss in that particular topics. In the next class, we are going to start the anatomical structure of dicot root and monocot root. So what are the layers from external to internal, how they are arranged, what is the features of the TS, that is a transverse section of the roots, both dicot and monocot roots, right? Thank you students, meet you again in the next class.